Aussie. Angry, 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 angry. Aussie. 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 Angry, 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 angry.
Hello, people. What is it? It's Tuesday night, first stream of the week. I've got a weird technical problem. It's not going live on Twitch, but I appear to be live on Facebook and YouTube. Very much not the end of the world if I don't go live on Twitch. I probably only get annoyed if I didn't go live on YouTube. I'd even not be particularly bothered if it didn't go live on Facebook. I'm just going to ignore that for a while. Hello, Megaleech. And Shieldsy, I don't know if you're still there. You left that comment half an hour ago before I started. Your 15th year this year on YouTube too. Yep, time she marches on. The site's only been around 16 years. So I joined it when it was just established as a big thing. Invisible Chicken, hello. Man. So, yeah, it was weird. I actually got reminded about the anniversary because of my Facebook memories, because various times I'd... that's interesting, Megaleech. Twitch doesn't like certain keywords. Try changing the word YouTube. Well, I don't really give a shit. About Twitch, so I don't care, but I will actually do a little change. Let's give that a go. What's that going to do? Spinny wheel. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, Shieldsy, that's us. We're not old. We're old school. So we'll leave it at that. No, that didn't do anything. So we'll say, fuck you, Twitch. Fuck you, Twitch. You're a bunch of simps. Does anyone remember the stream where someone said they was trying to make it on Twitch you could get banned for saying simp? It's like getting pretty fucking weird at a certain point, honestly. Evening, Greg. Invisible Chicken, booked your second Pfizer vaccine. Nice. It's probably about 2 months till I get my second AstraZeneca. And Raiders, good evening to you, sir. Yeah, it kind of feels like, oh, why do I have to wait so long? And it's like all the, I was going to say studies, but it's basically all the experience in the field with the hundreds of millions of vaccines that have been done around the world, leaving a longer gap between doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine seems to make it more effective. Morgie, you got AstraZeneca as well, yeah? Yes, Shilty, who cares about wannabe YouTube? Yeah. I don't know. Twitch is making inroads, but I've never been that fussed about it. Some people I like do good things on Twitch, and that's all good. Oh, Megalit, she looked it up. Twitch is actually down in Australia. There you go. Chris, YouTube's 16. I'm 15 on YouTube. Yeah, Raiders, you're right. The Twitch terms of service are weird. Nice. Invisible Chicken, no side effects. I had very mild ones. My arm was no more sore than a normal sort of needle jab would make it. But in bed that night, I got the chills and I felt really weak. But that had all passed by morning. Then I just felt tired in the morning because I was a bit fucked up during the night. Next night's sleep, everything was normal. Fucking stove is doing its thing, which I'm sure you can't hear, but I can. And it annoys the shit out of me. Stupid fucking clock on the stupid fucking stove. Honestly. Megalich, think Twitch is working now. I'll see. StreamYard lets me keep trying to go live. It's keep kicking back an error. So again, I don't really place any focus on Twitch at all. So I'm not bothered if I don't go live on Twitch. There was a period where I was going to try, and for those who are unfamiliar with streaming on Twitch, it gamifies the whole thing. It's like, oh, you've done this many hours. Oh, you got this many people watch, because that can get addictive, getting these little things saying, oh, you made another achievement. You get to a certain point, and then to get the next achievement, you have to stream for at least 4 hours, at least 5 days a week. And it's just fucked. And that put me, when I realized what Twitch does with that, that really put me off it. Like, I really didn't like that. So yeah, thanks to the magic of StreamYard, I can just easily multi-stream. Fletcher, hello. Speaking of old school, yes, so little party night. 15 years ago, I uploaded my first video on YouTube where I was sitting on the toilet complaining about things. And I didn't even shout. It was the very first video, and I just talked really calmly. And it's the second one where I went, wait, I should do this more angry. And so I did them more angry. Fletcher, I have a couple of versions of the mask, actually. So, yeah. The original one in a prank video with my kids, they wrote all over it saying I was silly because it had got weird and uncomfortable to wear, so I got a newer one. So I've had several versions of the mask over the years, and I think it's just in the next room. Visible Chicken, you started taking ADHD meds a few days ago, had no negative side effects. That is also good. And this project did a segment on underdiagnosis of adults with ADHD. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I'm glad you're getting medications that don't have side effects, because that's a thing. That's a thing that happens sometimes with medications on various things. Side effects. Matt, g'day, sir. How are you? So, Chris, in 90 days, you'll be 15 on YouTube. Wow, there you go. You used it without an account for a few months. I think I also did use it for a while. I mean, there's a period where I just used it to watch Daily Show clips, because the Daily Show wasn't on TV in Australia. Nice, Fletcher. No side effects at all with Astra. I just had, I was thinking, what's that? It's an eggshell. The offspring were cooking tonight. I made some potato salad. And it's just like a bit of eggshell here. All right. All right. Yes, Invisible Chicken, staying home just in case there were side effects. Smart move. Right, as you keep getting recommended alcohol-related content. Have I seen a Scottish guy distilling everything he can get his hands on? No, I haven't. I did see an American guy who was basically doing that. Whereas distilling is interesting to me in the abstract. I'm not sort of deeply into it. And of course, I watch the Whiskey Tribe. They have just, because they actually run a distillery, but they'll do distilling experiments from time to time, usually silly ones. And Matt, when did I last wear the mask? I don't know for sure. Maybe I should have worn it for the stream. That would have been silly. And I like silly, so I'm saying that as a positive thing. Okay. So, like, I might have worn the mask as a, bit of nostalgia at one point in the last couple of years. I don't really remember. I mean, I've only even done two pre-recorded videos in the last year. So as for a video with a mask, who actually knows? Now I'm just sort of compelled, because now I think about it. It's I might have put mask in the title to draw attention to the fact I was wearing it. Oh my God, what was that? Why did it do that? Oh, Jesus. It's been stupid. Well, we'll forget that. It's not showing up. Anyway, I'm going to leave that. He's COVID. You don't want to mask him. Oh, yes, Fletcher. I do remember Dr. Wigwam. He was interesting. Oh, Morgie, it's Big Clive, the guy that distills everyone knows Big Clive. Big Clive. Fletcher, Blunty 2000 used to be the biggest YouTuber. No one's one. Maybe it's because there's a big market for domestic violence abusers. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows why people like things? I don't. I really don't. I don't get why reaction videos are so popular, but they are. And it's like with most popular YouTube channels, I can look at them and go, I see why that's popular. Even if it isn't my thing, I can look at it and go, I see why that's popular. And sometimes not so much. Sometimes I'm a bit confused. Sometimes I'm very confused. But, what are you going to do? World keeps spinning. It's pointless overthinking things, honestly. Yeah, Chris. I also can't get over how long people kept watching him. Fucking scumbag. But that is the way people are. I mean, you see high-profile domestic violence and rape cases in the courts, and you get these people falling over themselves to defend the fucking piece of shit. And they go, oh, it's not the guy I know. Well, you know it fucking is. It absolutely fucking is the guy you know, you piece of shit. Was that Fletcher? Because Braz is saying friendly Geordies to SM has to interview Isaac Butterfield. That's some weird sort of cosmic thing going on there. Does he even still do stuff? Yeah, Chris, like your ex-president. Oh, actually, current president's a bit fucking questionable too. There's this whole problem with US presidents and sexual assault. Right. No, this is just and I don't know the answer to this because I don't watch his videos. It's just because I haven't heard anyone talking about him for a while. I know he still uploads videos. There you go. Uploaded one just now. Actually, no, he's uploading a couple videos a week. So yeah, it's just odd that I hadn't heard anyone talking about him for a while, but he's obviously still got his huge audience. Yeah, good luck to him. There you go. Correct, Fletcher. Palmer did try to sue Friendly Geordies and fail. Braz might have more luck. I don't know. I am not a legal expert. I don't know how the law works in New South Wales, what the likelihood of a result is. Oh yeah, Raiders. Okay, there's two pretty good, successful Aussie channels, and Reardon, who I watch regularly. Mighty Car Mods, who I don't watch regularly. I have met the guys. So yeah, some big ones. So Invisible Chicken, you watch reaction videos because it gives you the feeling getting to watch a show with someone. I get it. Yeah, and you get different perspectives you hadn't considered. See, excellent. That's an excellent explanation. I like it. I absolutely like it. So that is a great explanation why you might watch reaction videos. I mean, that was why years ago, Aidsy and I did commentary tracks for movies, like a DVD commentary track. So if you were just watching the movie, or if you wanted to watch a movie, it's like you watching it with us. We'd be sitting there watching it, doing our dumb commentary all the way through. So we were like your annoying housemates who talk all the way through movies. So yeah, we haven't done that for a long time. But you see, Rage, I get what you're saying. Defamation's hard to pull off. Just ask Christian Porter. I actually think defamation is very easy to pull off in Australia. It's just that Christian Porter didn't have a case. There's been some quite outrageous, in my opinion, wins in defamation cases in Australia. Chris, you like more of that? Well, I mean, Aidsy hasn't been well enough to do it for an extremely long time. But I mean, yeah, okay. What I'm saying is those were essentially reaction videos. They were just really long, real-time reaction videos to entire movies. This is where subtitles come in, because, of course, if the audio comes onto the YouTube video, you get a copyright thing, which did actually happen. Also, because I like to have the volume on a little bit so we could hear it, and it was up loud enough in one that I think the soundtrack was picked up. It wasn't a copyright strike, but it was a copyright notice, which is a dangerous thing. Yeah, so that's the thing. But yeah, use subtitles so you can see the dialogue. And I was about to say most of the time I'd watch the movie before watching what they did, but that's not actually true. Probably 3/4 of the movies I was watching for the first time. Yeah, well, Raiders, Porter in particular was an absolute fucking piece of shit, bringing that really bogus case. And obviously bogus because he bailed when he found out what the ABC's defense was going to be, which we, the public, do not know yet, although there were some media outlets were pushing in court to be able to see the defense evidence. But yeah, it basically seemed like the ABC's defense was going to involve witnesses who were going to make Porter look very, 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 very bad. And he didn't want that. So, wow. Yeah, but I mean, what the ABC have said publicly is we never said he was guilty. We literally just said talk of the town is, and the allegation is a serious one and should have been seriously investigated. The fact it hasn't been is a fucking travesty. And I mean, if I, for one, was a politician who had aspirations to be prime minister and had never raped or sexually assaulted someone, I would want a thorough investigation into any allegation about me, because it's extremely fucking hard to get convictions on someone who actually committed a rape or sexual assault. But the like that MRA bullshit about false claims, like yes, there are falsely reported rapes for any number of reasons. Statistically, at best no higher than the false rate of reportage for any other crime, because other crimes are falsely reported quite regularly for all sorts of different reasons. And so, yeah, I never quite understood. Well, I mean, I do understand where the MRAs are coming from, because they're vile, fucking evil pieces of shit, every single one of them, no exceptions. But they're trying to discredit people who are raped by saying there's false accusations. So can no crime ever be reported or prosecuted because some crimes are falsely reported? It's like, it's fucking moronic. Hello, Celtic King. And yes, Raiders is like, Porter, his credibility was already shot. This is actually true. And he fucking deserves to have his credibility shot. He's a fucking piece of shit. But yes, once this, I think it was basically when the AP said, well, this is going to be our defense, it was going like, oh, that's going to make it so much worse. That's going to make it so much worse. That's really the only conclusion we can draw, unless we're actually told what the ABC's defense was. I can think of and I'm not going to say any of them because no one's actioning on me, but I can think of several different defense strategies the ABC might have been planning that would have ended real fucking badly for Porter. The most obvious one is sworn statements from people about his behavior that painted him in a very questionable light. So he's turned tail and ran. So yeah, it's redonkulous. Porter's fucking ridiculous. He's the fucking worst, honestly. So, yes, that's his aspirations out the fucking window anyway. What, Jesus. But then again, half the fucking LNP and probably a decent chunk of the Labour Party should be out for the same fucking reasons, honestly. That's, Raiders. Barry O'Farrell in New South Wales went down for a bottle of wine. He accepted a bottle of wine from a property developer who later got a government contract. It was something like that. They either got a contract or they were bidding for a contract, and because it bore, the sheen of corruption, away he went, as opposed to the rampant fucking criminality of the LNP in New South Wales, particularly, also at the federal level. Just outrageous criminality that they've refused to accept any responsibility for. It's just absolutely fucking mind-blowing. Kelsey King, I should become the angry politician. We joked about that on one stream. I would form the cocktail party, where my central planks of policy would be A, cocktails, and B, less aggressive taxing on locally distilled spirits. And I, after we joked about that, actually went and looked up what you have to do to form a political party, and it's a pain in the ass. You've got to have like 1,000 members or something. Big pain in the ass. I mean, you can stand as an independent, sure, but to actually be a party, and I just wanted to be the cocktail party, honestly. It's a huge pain in the ass. Yeah, exactly, Raiders. How Bruz isn't indicted is beyond. How the actual fucking Premier, Berejiklian, because she was having the affair with the dude who was corrupt and kept it going when his corruption was known. That's the fact that she's still there fucking does my head in. It's wild. Yes, Annette, the Brookie Slow Gin, good with lemonade. It's a nice fruity slow gin made. I think the primary flavor is Davison plum. Yeah, Fletcher, Teflon, Gladys. Yeah. Celtic King. Never too late to start. It just seemed like a pain in the ass. Like, I honestly, I looked it up, because Jesus, anyone can get fucking elected to the Senate. It's weird. And so I actually looked up what you had to do, and it just turned into a major pain in the ass. So I thought, I'm not going to do that. So rates off Samantha, how much each having a sook this week? Yeah, I didn't even bother to read. I saw that she was getting this sympathetic coverage from Murdoch Media. She's a fucking piece of shit too. It's just like, just gross bigots everywhere who get upset when someone just goes, hey, that was actually incredibly vile and bigoted, what you just said then. Is that real, Fletcher? Lyle Shelton has Fred Niles' seat in the New South Wales Upper House? See, if that's true, I just hadn't been paying any attention. I didn't realise that. I still love the number of times the hashtag Eat Shit Lyle has trended on Australian Twitter. Because he's garbage, and he should eat shit, and it's just, he's just the worst. He's awful. It's with people like him, I get very confused with people like him, and people like him are very widespread. They're more common in the US than Australia. They call themselves Christian, but their every behavior is in direct conflict with the Bible. And so I look at them and go, you do stuff every day that even a cursory reading of the New Testament would tell you would mean you are damned, you are going to hell, you are not going to the kingdom of heaven. It's explicit. It's not subtle. It's not nuanced. You don't have to be biased. It's clear and explicit. These people would go straight to hell. So all I can think is he doesn't actually believe the shit he says. Because I don't know what sort of just terminally impaired cognitive function you would have to think everything in the Bible was real and you could behave like Lyle Shelton and still get into the kingdom of heaven. Like, straight to fucking hell, honestly. And hi, Salumi. The rated Samantha's court case needs to be brought to more eyes. Yes, lying piece of shit. Threw a colleague under the bus. That sounds about right. That sounds very much like her. In fact, wow. Sorry, I just had a slight hiccup there. That's okay. I'm soldiering on. I think Twitch is still not working. And that's okay, because like I said, I don't really give a shit about Twitch. I'd only be annoyed if YouTube wasn't working. Nice. Salumi's got a hot toddy. Actually, with the weather here today, I probably should have made one. But I actually very rarely make hot drinks. Even in the middle of winter, I like cold drinks. And in the middle of summer, I have hot food. You hear people like, oh, I wanted like a salad or a cold meats or something. No, I want hot food. In winter, they go, oh, I want a warm drink. No, I want a cold drink. So, although there was a very interesting drink, which I think qualified very much as a winter cocktail, that I saw online the other day. It's a little bit fiddly, and I want to try it. And because I think it's Monday is Bourbon Day. Wait, when's the 12th? Saturday. is Cachaça Day. Oh, there you go. I've already made a cocktail for Friday Day, so sorry, Cachaça. You don't get a special video on my channel this year. So Saturday's the 12th, Monday is the 14th. Yes, okay. Bourbon Day. 14th of June is Bourbon Day in America. And why not? I'll say Twitch support on Twitter. Users may be experienced. Yeah, okay. Twitch is fucked. I don't care. Nettie, you're going to have to go early tonight? That's okay. This is an intense, isn't this? This is like a TV test pattern, this shirt. This just reminds me of the old test patterns on TVs. Right, there's another Kerry Stokes' pet projects. We enabled suppression orders to keep Samantha's dirty habits out of the program. Oh, geez, I don't even want to know what fucking freaks like that get up to. It's a bit much. Yeah, so I'm just cycling through all my retro shirts. This one I bought a little while ago. This is a lockdown shirt, but I bought it about a year ago, halfway through last year, maybe. So this is one of the first of the retro shirts I bought. And then there was a real cycle of them for the North American summer, these sort of 50s, 60s retro and Hawaiian style shirts, which are the ones I've been buying. So yes, I'm just turning these live streams into my fashion show of wearing these often quite loud retro shirts. Shazia, I think 70s is fair. I think it's fair. Yeah. 70s or like a 90s test card pattern on a TV. Safa, good evening to you. So, yeah, I got the wacky shirts. What's Thursday? Yeah, who knows? Who knows which one I'll pull out for Thursday? I now have a lot to choose from. I've got about 10 to choose from. So possibly even more. I haven't counted them. Thanks, Safa. I'm glad you like the shirt. Right, did you reckon parents had curtains like that in the 70s? I reckon you might be right. Curtains, seats on public transport, maybe. You know, all these things. But curtains is a good one, I think. Possibly even a lounge suite. A lounge suite sold by Nick Scali in the 70s. I could kind of see, yeah. Or Franco Cozzo. I could see Franco Cozzo selling a lounge suite that had this fabric on it in the 70s. That sounds right to me. The grande sale, grande sale, grande sale. And I have a picture of because I don't even know if the Franco Cozzo store still exists. The building's there, and it has a giant mural of Franco Cozzo on the side. And I was walking up to that bit in Footscray one day. I go, I've got to take a picture of this. And there's a dude washing a car in front of it, and it was Franco Cozzo. And he saw me taking a picture. He's going, "Oh yes, sir." And I was starstruck. I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And I went over and like shook hands, said hello. He was just the loveliest guy. And I said, "Dude, you're an absolute legend. It would make my day if I could get another picture and just get you doing the pose in front of the mural." And he's going, "Of course, my friend." And it's like one of my favorite Melbourne. It doesn't get more Melbourne than meeting Franco Cozzo under the Franco Cozzo mural. What do you think? It's Saba furniture? Should they think it's the Brisbane transport seat from the 70s, 80s? Yes. And nobody. No, I like that one. Greetings and cell mutations. Right, has Saba had the cocktail dinner? I don't know. So yeah, it's one of my all-time Uber Melbourne moments. Meeting Franco Cozzo at the Franco Cozzo mural, and he was such a nice guy. He's such a legend. Melbourne, what a place. And the furniture Franco Cozzo sold, so fucking ugly. I mean, so ugly. It's terrible. The Franco Cozzo furniture is just terrible. It's so ugly. Luke, hello. Yes, 15 years on YouTube. The anniversary. Before I drink some water, I'm gonna have some of this. Just a little bit. Ooh, it's settling a bit. It's because it's all natural flavors. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. An Archie Rose Tempest, just a little one though. I now don't have to, although that's a good quality stopper. Proper cork by the looks of it. I think I'll save that. I besides saving cute bottles like these to store drinks in, I saved a couple of bigger bottles, but I've stopped saving bottles a while back because I just have so many. But I've been saving stoppers because you never know when you need a stopper. And I was thinking, oh, I've got enough stoppers. Then I had a proper look at this, and this is a really good quality stopper. So I'll probably keep it. Yes, we're celebrating the old school on YouTube. Hellion, hello, Kirsten, and bonjour, Lee. I was just randomly watching a bunch of stuff on YouTube earlier, entertainment stuff, a lot of music videos, and a few other things. And I watched a bit of Bo Burnham, like the clip from his news special about the internet, everything, all of the time. Yes, Kirsten, that's like a spell to call you the popping of a good quality stopper. There's a good solid base on. I don't know. See, there's a really solid base on this bottle. Potentially, like I said, I don't really have space for any more bottles, but I might compare this to some of the other ones. Maybe it's better than some of the other ones. But also just hand-to-hand combat. An empty thing of this, holding it like this, sconning someone with that, you'd fucking kill them. Not like Hollywood, where the bottle breaks when you hit. That bottle would not break if you hit someone with it. If you hit someone with it, their head would break before the bottle would break. So yeah. So I might, when that's empty, which is not going to be long. It's probably got 2, possibly 3 drinks left in it because I've been drinking it because it's really good. Yeah, but as I said, I watched some Bo Burnham, and not just the newer stuff. There was a classic old one from YouTube Live, which was, I don't know, 10 years ago. It was like 10 years ago. Oh, I actually went there. I went to San Francisco. It was an event. I got an invite. I had to pay my own way over there, but they said, yeah, if you want to come, we got a ticket for you. And so I went because I wanted to go. And so I had a ticket, and I'm like, oh. And you went to this venue, and there's a bunch of people there, and there were different sorts of tickets. There was this sort of hoi polloi standing area where there was big screens so they could see everything. And then there was like behind the curtains, and then there was seating. And I had no idea what the ticket got me. I was allocated seat, and I showed it to someone like, I'm this, and they said, oh yeah, you're through here. And I thought, oh, because I thought I might have just been in the hoi polloi standing section, and I wasn't. I was there, and they showed me through, and I was literally front row. I was right at the front, and I was like, oh my God, I'm literally the front row. And then there's all the people there, and in fact, the Google and YouTube guys were in the row behind. The only one I recognized was Chad, one of the YouTube founders. And I posted a thing like, and he was nice and shook hands, and I had him on video. It's Chad, I met Chad. And then people went, didn't you see who he sat down next to? And I'm like, who did he sit down next to? And it was the Google founders. I was like, man, because Chad, because of the money he made from YouTube, he's probably the richest person whose hands I've shaken. But my God, if I'd have recognized the Google guys, was it Sergey and Larry? And said, "Oh, you guys are wicked." I could have shaken, and then I would have shaken a billionaire's hand. I didn't. I lost so much. I lost so much nerd cred because I was like showing the video, going, "Look, I met Chad," and they're going, "Didn't you fucking see who he sat down next to?" I went, "No, who did he sit down next to? The fucking Google founders. What's wrong with you?" So, whoops, I missed that. Oh, all my nerd points out the window. No more nerd points for me. So, but what are you going to do? So that was a surprise that I had the front row. And there's a little thing, apparently, there's a bit on the video I shot where one of the guys who's doing the professional shooting, who had this sort of big far-off camera, was right next to me, and I had my handheld camera, and I was doing this joking thing because it was before the show started. And I was like, "Oh, there's a guy doing," and he pointed his camera at me, and so he's pointing his big camera at me, and I'm pointing my little camera at him, going, "I don't feel inadequate. I'm not challenged." And this was a couple minutes before the show started, but apparently it was streaming out on to YouTube for a minute or two before the show started. I thought nothing's happening. Show started. And so I'm just messing around with this guy. And afterwards, people told me, "Oh no, like for a minute or so, you were on the front page of YouTube." Because what this guy was shooting was streaming to the front page of YouTube. And man, if I'd have known, I would have just been subscribed to Angry Aussie. But I didn't know. Abigail, hello. We're talking about old school, the angry phone. You rang it once, Shieldsy. Lots of people rang the angry phone. Occasional trolls did, but mostly it was cool people. The angry phone was mostly cool people. So, oh, Annette, that's old times. There was the front page of YouTube, and that was the thing that you were desperate to get on. They changed it ages ago. But there used to be featured videos on the front. Like if you landed on youtube.com, there were featured videos. And that was like the thing you desperately, and that was for the first couple of years. I forget how many years that lasted. But for somewhere between, I don't know, 3 and 5 years, there was a front page. And they had featured videos, and that was the thing you desperately wanted. And I never got featured on the front page of YouTube, which I thought was a fucking travesty, because some fucking terrible shit got featured on the front page of YouTube. But YouTube Australia, I got featured multiple times on the front page of YouTube Australia, which was nice. And I was one of the first people partnered in Australia, and I made some money. And yeah, and then they stopped the localized thing, and my audience dropped 90%, and I got jack of the whole thing and stopped taking it seriously, and have just been fucking around for the last 10 years because I do not adapt well to change. So I stopped trying to make it big on YouTube, and just spent the last 10 years fucking around because I wanted to have fun. Franklin, hello. Yes, 15 years. First video went up 15 years ago. Me sitting on the toilet. And Franklin is one of my oldest YouTube friends. Okay, Franklin's on Facebook for everyone on YouTube who's watching. Franklin is on YouTube, but he is one of my oldest YouTube friends, like from the first year. We did like video responses to each other, I think was how we came into contact. Fletcher, you didn't go back after they changed. Oh yeah, I stopped taking it seriously when they changed. I like, fuck this. Also, my timing fucking sucked. There were probably a couple of times if I had focused full time on YouTube, it would have made a huge amount of difference. There were 2 times I tried to focus full time on YouTube, and I think my timing was just shit. I also had a couple of pieces of extraordinarily bad luck. It's kind of like stuff was coming together and was going to be great, and then it just missed and it just fucked. So I had several bits of extraordinarily bad luck, which actually cost me a fucking lot, like literally in terms of dollars. Chris, when you apply for streaming TV jobs, you say, well, I streamed on the internet with tape cameras. You don't find that experience anymore. That is thing. Okay. I'm not that bothered. Oh, wow. I am live on Twitch now. There you go. Thanks, Megaleech. So I'm live on Twitch now. And no one cares. Franklin remembers being #1 most subbed on YouTube Island for 4 weeks, taken over by Westlife, and then a whole bunch of others. I was top 20 in Australia. There was a period I was top 20 in Australia, and yeah, that's a long time ago. That is a long time ago. Not even top 1,000 in Australia now. But that's what happens when you don't work at it. But let's see. Nice, Shieldsy. You got top 10 blogger for Australia. Nice. Chris, you're saying there's a lot of sites down today? Seriously, I mean, like, it's like a cliche to say it's hackers, but it's probably hackers. But yeah, if you back in the day got featured on the front page of global YouTube, that was worth no shit 1 million views. Back when 1 million views fucking meant something. Yeah. Twitch, yeah. Sorry, Luke. Twitch has been down until just now. So yeah, when I tried to go live at 8, Twitch was down. And now it's back. Suffer, I can be top 20 of Aussie cocktail channels. Fish Lives Matter. Hello. I love the name changes. I love it. Okay, to actually be serious, top 20 Aussie cocktails, I'm probably 3rd in views and 4th in subs for Australian channels. I could be wrong, because there's basically 2 really big Aussie cocktail channels, the biggest being Steve the Bartender. I've got my Steve the Bartender video coming up this Friday for Gin Day using Steve the Bartender's gin. Hopefully he gives me a shout out, because that's the way you get viewers on YouTube, people giving you a shout out. The second would be Behind the Bar with Cara Devine, who works in a bar in Melbourne. She's Scottish, but she works in a bar in Melbourne. And there's George Kimura, who runs the 18th Amendment bar in Geelong. And when we're not locked down, I have to go out to Geelong and fucking do a collab with George. He's cool. So, yeah. George's channel is bigger than mine, but we're smaller channels. Steve and Steve's here, Cara's here, and then there's George here and me here. So I don't know any other Aussie cocktail channels, actually. Oh, Luke, I am far too fucking old for TikTok. Matt, your claim to fame is getting one of the top 10 most viewed Aussie Twitch clips a few years ago. Nice. Nice. Shields, you got spam watched by Queensland YouTubers, 500 views in one night. Yeah, that was a lot, man. Back in the day, that was a friggin' lot. I like the sort of TikTok videos that get shared beyond TikTok, like people put them on Facebook or Twitter stuff, and I see them. I've probably got a TikTok account, but I don't use it. But I saw one the other day. The young folk who really work it on TikTok, they are fucking talented. People who dismiss that stuff are shitheads, honestly, because there's this technique that various of them are mastering. Because okay, so they shoot it on the phone, and the record thing on the phone, they edit. It's basically they do live edits, and it's a thing they practice because you're recording when your thumb's on the button, and it stops recording when you take your thumb off. And so they do these things where they go to the phone and stop recording, and they've got these motion things down. And I saw someone posted the other day. The TikToker had just like a camera on them while they were using their phone, and you saw what they were doing. They were doing one line and doing a thing with their hand and this and a light and whatnot, and they were explaining they take the thumb off the record button each time, and you so you see, oh, you're doing that, and then they showed the TikTok video, and the visuals were fucking mind-blowing. Like, I can't even adequately describe them, but the people who do the real flash videos on TikTok are incredibly fucking skilled, and I have no time for anyone who derides them because they're fucking skilled. And I'm too old for TikTok. Maybe I'll go on and be TikTok grandpa. No, but you could easily pick on people making videos might not like. All of them have more notoriety than you. You're a few screen name. Self-deprecation. I like it. But yeah, I don't even watch on TikTok. I only see TikTok videos that people share on. This is how old I am. I only see TikTok videos that people share on Facebook and Twitter. But some of the ones I see are really fucking good. And like I said, even just technically, this skill that a lot of them have learned for in-camera edits is, and they just do that through experimentation, basically. But some of them are fucking stunning. Like, it's all just, there's no post-shoot editing. They just do it in a flow, and they just practice and practice till they get this flow happening, and it's fucking stunning. Absolutely hats off to the talented TikTok creators. I like watching them, but the idea of trying to get on the platform, oh no, that's not for me, I don't think. I had this vision because I've got some old microphones about the place. I mean, there's this one that I'm actually using. There's a couple of old ones that are broken and whatnot. And because I was, as I mentioned earlier, I was watching a bunch of music videos on YouTube earlier to entertain myself. And I was doing some very random jumps, and I started watching some classic old 80s ones, 80s indie stuff that I really liked back in the day. And Killing Joke's famous track 80s came on. They're a sort of post-punk rock band with sort of slightly gothic feel to them as well. They weren't a goth band like Susie and the Banshees or anything, or Sisters of Mercy or anything like that. They were more straight rock. I remember some people at college calling them heavy metal, which is like, I don't think you guys know heavy metal, but they said it's sort of this punk, post-punk sort of thing going on. And the lead singer in the clip for this song 80s, he's being like a politician doing a press conference, and he's just got all these microphones in front of him. And I just suddenly thought, like, I haven't been doing pre-recorded videos forever, but I just suddenly thought that would be a pretty good visual. Me sort of sitting down to doing it as if I'm a politician and just have a bunch of microphones in front of me. I kind of liked that as a visual concept. I might think on it. I might think on it a bit, and we'll see. But it's just the more I think of it, the more I go, there's no real payback for me in doing the angry rant videos. No, Invisible Chicken, the band Killing Joke predates the Batman comic, The Killing Joke, by a long way. So it's got to be a reference. So let's go. I'll look it up. The Killing Joke origin. Yeah, that brings up the Batman thing. That's just all Batman. That's useless. Wait, what the fuck did... Okay, it auto-completed something that I didn't even say. Fuck you, Google. Just fuck you. Killing Joke. Killing Joke. That's all fucking Batman. Fuck you, Batman. Origin of the term Killing Joke. Come on, Google. Fucking get it together. Killing Joke, an English rock band? Okay, what's the Wikipedia for Killing? Does that tell us where the name comes from? Formed in 1979 by Jazz Coleman. First album, Revelations. Post-punk. Goth, synth pop, electronic, yes. All right, formative years. Formed Killing Joke, bands formed. Coleman gave an explanation of their name. The Killing Joke is like when people watch something like Monty Python on the television laugh, when really they're laughing at themselves. Like a soldier in the First World War. He's in the trench, he knows his life is gone, and within the next 10 minutes he's going to be dead. And then suddenly he realizes that some cunt back in Westminster's got him sussed. What am I doing this for? I don't want to kill anyone. I'm just being controlled. So they seem to be saying they invented the term, the Killing Joke. Okay. On a Batman Reddit, the meaning of the Killing Joke. No, that doesn't fucking say anything. What is about Killing Joke? Killing Joke wasn't meant to be canon. What does Urban Dictionary say Killing Joke is? A band. So it's interesting. The Wikipedia for the band Killing Joke seems to be suggesting they invented the term Killing Joke. So DC cut a deal for the right to use the name Killing Joke for Batman. Band was allowed to use Batman in the cover art of 2 of their albums. Nice. Yeah, I know the Batman story came after the band, so the band inspired the name of the Batman thing. I was wondering what inspired the band name. Shay on Twitch finally caught me live. Well, you're lucky because Twitch was down for the first 45 minutes that I was on. No, Shay, Kevin Hart. There's no way Kevin Hart said Killing Joke right. The band Killing Joke was formed in 1979. I think Kevin Hart was just a baby in 1979. Invisible Chicken side shot of Bat showed up in the single America. Part of his cape can be seen in the album Outside the Gate. There you go. Nice trivia, Invisible Chicken. Thank you. So, Shields, you actually got over 1 million views on YouTube. On two different channels, both had over 1 million views. That's a fucking accomplishment, man. That is a fucking accomplishment. Because pre-YouTube days, the idea of making something that 1 million people would see is just wild. Shay, you saw a video that had 600,000 views on YouTube? See, that's the thing. Nowadays, that doesn't mean anything because the most viewed videos are in the billions of views and the super successful videos are in the hundreds of millions of views. But yeah, I mean, back in the day on Vimeo, okay, Vimeo is a bit of a niche site. Back in the day, 1 million views on YouTube fucking meant something. That was huge. Now on YouTube, I mean, 1 million views on YouTube is good. Anyone would be happy to get it, but it doesn't mean anything compared to what it used to be. Fletcher, did I invent the selfie stick? I was using a monopod to shoot videos 10 years before selfie sticks were around. That's the thing. And as I have said before, my inspiration for doing that was Sam Raimi when he was talking about making The Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead movie. There's a bit that kind of looks like it's Steadicam, and he said, yeah, we didn't have the budget for Steadicam. We call that wobbly cam. And it was basically the camera was in the middle of a very long plank of wood with someone holding each end. And they worked out through experimentation, the longer the plank of wood, the more steady the movement of the camera would be. And so I worked that out with a monopod. If I put the video camera on it and walked around, it would smooth out the movement of the camera. And so I was pre-selfie stick. Durkastani, oh, thank you. You're a fan. Never been able to catch live. I am enjoying the stream, hanging with people, having a good time. And Shieldsy, my better angel, will be pleased to hear. I'm about to have some water. It's moving into the second hour, and it's only Tuesday. So I think I'm just going to drink water from here. A little bit of Wasser. So Shay on Twitch, remember when Ninja got the first 1 million views on YouTube? It's so crazy. Everyone in school talked about it. Yeah, no, it's wild. I mean, I remember the first channel to get 1 million subscribers, which seemed impossible. That was Fred back in the day. 1 million subscribers. Abigail, you had a comment. I must have scrolled by about the killing joke. Didn't Adam West invent the killing joke when he couldn't dispose of the bomb? You didn't say the words, though. And you've got your COVID jab. Oh, you got a clinic in the tower. Nice. Pfizer vaccine. Nice. Microchipped. Strangely love Bill Gates. Nice. That is all very good. So yeah, no, that's good. Getting the Pfizer jab and the fact that they got the clinic in your actual building, which is pretty good. So I have to decide what cocktail videos to shoot next week. And I think I kind of decided because I haven't done a Milk Punch Monday for weeks, and I had a very specific idea for a Milk Punch Monday. Durkastani, did Richard Pryor actually use the term killing joke? I'm going to look that up because I'm fascinated by the origin of the term. Richard Pryor killing joke. Oh no, there's no direct reference to it. Yeah. You had to stop yourself from squirting your vaccine into your mouth when the nurse left the room. Sorry, I just find that really funny. It looked good. You wanted to squirt it into your mouth. I appreciate your restraint in not doing that, but that's fucking awesome. I love that. Shieldy, you made the YouTube Lego and thing back in 2008, being the first one. Nice. Nobody, you heard someone this morning on radio put the anti-COVID jab bullshit in a good way. We have a 40% chance of a serious road crash, but you still drive. Worry about COVID with a 2 million chance of an issue. Well, here's the thing. There is a, in terms of an adverse reaction, there is, and we know this from the actual statistics, there's basically a 1 in a 100,000 chance of any adverse reaction, and the chance of something serious enough to hospitalize you is less than 1 in a million. And conversely, the risk of complications from COVID, if you contract COVID, are way higher than 1 in 10. So it's absolutely absurd to go, oh, but there's a tiny possibility of an adverse reaction if I get the COVID jab. And there absolutely is a tiny chance of an adverse reaction from a COVID vaccine. That is true. There's a tiny chance. It's just the chance of an adverse reaction from getting COVID is literally thousands of times higher. Oh, yeah, look, they make you wait for at least 15 minutes after the vaccine. They do that for the normal flu vaccine, actually. Yeah. I mean, so Abigail, 1 in a million would mean that ultimately you would expect somewhere in the region of 20 Australia. If you'd expect somewhere in the region of 20 Australians to get hospitalized because of a severe reaction to the COVID vaccine, and we've had 1 person die, and ultimately it might be as high as 5 or 10 people die. But it's the possibility of adverse reactions from not taking the vaccine are literally thousands of times higher. Megaleech, I think there was 1 death that the authorities, they thought the blood clot was caused by the vaccine. Like I said, in terms of people getting hospitalized, it's like 1 in a million, and there's 1 person died, so that's like 1 in 5 million. So yeah, Abigail, it's thousands of people will die, but we've already had. Oh God, I haven't even looked at the fucking death map for a while. Should we look at the death map? I used to look at it all the fucking time last year because it was just morbidly horrifying. I haven't looked at the stats for ages. What are they now? Johns Hopkins, lay it on us, guys. Well, come on, load. Here we go. Wow, this is the longest, the Johns Hopkins. Oh, now they put vaccines administered. 2 billion vaccines worldwide. Close enough to 174 million cases confirmed worldwide. 3.7 million deaths confirmed worldwide. So the actual number of cases is probably at least double that, at least. And the number of deaths is probably at least 50% higher than that. So the US is up to, US is about to reach the magic milestone of 600,000 dead, got 33 million cases. India's coming up on 29 million cases and 351,000 dead. Brazil has a worse death rate. That's interesting. 17 million cases and 474,000 deaths. So that death rate is almost twice as high. But everyone reckons India's death rate is underestimated by as much as half. Like everyone agrees the death rate in India is massively higher than the official number and is possibly twice as high. But there you go. That's the latest statistics. 2 billion vaccine doses administered worldwide, 173 million cases, 3.7 million deaths. Still USA number one. USA number one. But honestly, the real cases in India might be significantly higher than the real cases in the US. But we'll never really know. It's guesswork. Guesswork. Shay, have you started to hear about this COVID-19 virus? There's a bit of talk around. Fletcher's donuts in New South Wales and Gladys is ibising around the El Alamein fountain. That's a visual. Oh, yeah. I mean, Fletcher, obviously, with those billions of vaccine doses, the makers have been making a fucking mint. There's no two ways about it. It's been very profitable. Yes. Isn't it fascinating to see, Abigail? The US has been really efficient in administering vaccines, really fucked at handling the COVID spread, but good at vaccines. Australia, exceptional at controlling COVID spread, but that was down to the states. The vaccine rollout, for reasons unbeknownst to anyone, the federal government declared they were taking control of it, and they have fucked it unbelievably. They've absolutely fucked the vaccine rollout. And the fact that we don't have any dedicated quarantine facilities is also ridiculous. And yes, Fletcher, the US would not have been as efficient with the vaccine rollout if Trump had won the last election. The change in administrations is very important. Oh yeah, Abigail, the rate at which the US has been administering vaccines, they could have rolled it out to the whole Australian population in a weekend, definitely. And yes, I agree, Fletcher, ScoMo's more like Trump. But it's astonishing the degree to which the federal government have fucked their responsibilities with COVID. The states have done amazing work, and a lot of that relied on, if not simply ignoring the federal government, sort of straight up telling them to get fucked. But the federal government is so shit. So, mate, you're in Hong Kong airport when the virus had just started spreading. Heard over the speaker, if you have flu-like symptoms, or if you've been to any wet market in Wuhan, please see our staff. God damn. Yeah, dude, you must have been so close to the first outbreak. That's wild. That is wild, yes. Safa, should you wait longer to get vaccines even if you're eligible? No, dude, the instant you're eligible, get it. Just fucking get it, man. It is such a relief to get it. Because I don't even remember how many weeks ago it was, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I got the vaccine. And it was a Tuesday. So it was either exactly 3 weeks or exactly 4 weeks ago I got the vaccine. I remember when I went in there, it was kind of like, oh, a little bit apprehensive. Here we go. And then, whoop. And then I was like, whew. There was just this massive sense of relief. It was just like, oh, now I've actually done everything I can do at this point to protect myself. The feeling of relief. There was just in the lead up, like when I went in to sit in a seat in a little booth and it's all getting ready, it was a little bit like, this is it. This is a big moment. This is a fucking historic moment. Here we go. Oof. And then it was, I did get a bit nervous, a bit apprehensive, but straight after getting it, it was just this massive, it's like I didn't realize how much stress I was holding on to. And that just went whoosh. So I think according to the statistics, I'm like at the moment like 50% protected from contracting the virus, and at least 80 to 90% are protected from serious illness if I do contract it. And when I get the second one, which won't be for 2 months, I don't think, then I'll be somewhere between 80 and 90% protected against actually contracting the virus, and very close to 100% protected from serious illness. Nothing's 100%. Nothing's 100%. But all the available evidence, and we do have billions of vaccinations to see, all the available evidence is fully vaccinated almost completely protects you against serious illness. Even if you contract the virus, you're almost completely protected from serious illness, which is a massive fucking relief. Yes, Arthur, the Jeff Shed became a exposure site. I don't think that's going to slow them down. I went to the Carlton one. Dirkastani, your school was offering vaccines. You didn't get it because your parents said, I'll be an idiot after you get it. No, dude, don't listen to anyone saying negative things about it. It's such a relief that we've got the fucking magic protection of, like the worst virus outbreak in 100 years. And it's just like, damn, dude, now we've got protection. Do it. Fletcher, you got to wait till July for your second jab. So I've got to wait 2 months. So you may be getting your second jab before mine. I think I've got 2 months to go, so I won't get mine till August. Unless they change it, because there's something where they've said, like, it might work better if the second jab is actually a different vaccine. Like if my second jab is Pfizer, and then they might say, in a month, they might say, hey, you should go up and get Pfizer for your second jab. But we shall see. There we go. You got a flyer saying there was a clinic being set up. Yeah, walk straight in, straight fucking way. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Nice. Invisible Chicken, you're supposed to go to Melbourne for a symposium. Obviously, it's been moved, but your scholarship covers a ticket and extra money for food. Nice. Fletcher, it's definitely going to be an annual booster. There is no two ways about it. With the variants and mutations, we are going to have an annual COVID booster. Whether they end up being able to amalgamate the COVID vaccine with the annual flu vaccine, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, whether that's going to be 2 vaccines. But either way, we're absolutely going to have an annual COVID booster. Shay, do not do an IV alcohol infusion. Your dad read some people got an IV alcohol in their bloodstream kills the virus. That is categorically not true. That is 100% not true. If you put the virus into a Petri dish and poured 100% alcohol on it, I think that would actually kill the virus. But you cannot do a sufficiently concentrated alcohol IV drip to kill the virus. You will kill yourself along. You only actually have to have about 0.5% of alcohol in your blood to kill you. And yes, the alcohol that we use on surfaces, which is regarded as killing the virus, has to be over 70% alcohol. So the IV drip alcohol would kill you so much more quickly than it would kill the virus. So it's a very bad idea. Do not do it. It's kind of like, when Trump took things the wrong way and said about the UV light kills it. We could get that inside people's own. No. You know what else would kill the virus in a laboratory? A fucking flamethrower. A massive dose of radiation would kill the virus. It would just kill us too. So, probably a fucking handgun would kill the virus. If you had the virus in a petri dish and fired around into it, you'd probably kill it. But it's not an effective medical treatment. Invisible Chicken, you were lucky when they booked your appointment. Vaccine got in the next day. You could pick the time. It's crazy. Well, I mean, what I did was I booked in to the mass vaccination centre in Carlton, and I went into, because I've been working from home, and the office where I work, when I work in the office, is not far from Carlton. So I went into the office for the day, and I got sick of waiting, and I went a bit early to the thing, and there was no line, and I just rocked up and I'm booked in, and they got me, in you go. And you had to go through, like, they're very thorough in following protocols and checking that you're supposed to be there. And they went, I had to go through 3 people, and then I got to a nurse who's in a little booth. She says, we'll be giving it to you today. Okay, just bam, done. No waiting. It's great. So for the lack of an online booking system in Victoria is terrible. The fact that I had to book by phone was fucking stupid. I felt like a caveman, honestly. Invisible Chicken, you got to the hospital because it was for Pfizer. Yes. Well, I was getting AstraZeneca, so I just went to the mass vaccination centre. So also, they want over 50s to get the AstraZeneca because they have a much bigger supply of it. They're trying to have Pfizer for under 50s. And yeah, because I'm over 50, so AstraZeneca for me. Invisible Chicken, you also booked by phone because the online booking system in Queensland sucks. Well, we just don't have one in Victoria, which is so weird. But anyway. Exactly, Safa. Book by phone. What is this, the 19th century? Am I Thomas Edison calling up on the phone saying, I would like to book an appointment with the physician? No. But anyway, this was before the outbreak, before everyone freaked out. So I could have just walked up. But I booked and I showed up early and there was no line and I just went in. And it was Dunzo. Oh, God. Sorry, there's a lot of comments going by, Abigail. I'm missing champagne comedy from Abigail. What did I miss? Wait, what did I miss? Chicken, Shieldsy, Fletcher, Chicken, Net, Supper. Wait, I don't think it showed up. I'm not seeing something else since the last time I saw one of your comments. But I'm old and I'm easily fucking confused, honestly. Safa, what got tracked back to a man from Sri Lanka? And Shieldsy, I do miss a ton. And that's just also in my day-to-day life. I miss a bunch of stuff I should notice. It just point goes sailing over. It's a thing. It is definitely a thing. I miss a lot. I absolutely miss a lot. But okay, look, here's this. I've got to decide what I want to do for next week. Maybe I will put off Milk Punch Monday because 14th is Bourbon Day. I feel like I should do a bourbon cocktail for Bourbondale. Okay, that did not post, I don't think, Abigail, because I scrolled back and didn't see it. Your comment was nothing's 100%. The chance of me being able to sit on your mum's face is 100%. Well, we'll get into the fact my mum's dead and you're fucking weird. So oh, no. Safa in Victoria, the health was using Bing Maps? What the fuck is that? Safa, oh, God, that's going right. Right, he's saying the lethal dose of alcohol is 5 to 8 grams per kilogram of your body weight. So that is... yeah, that makes about sense. It's kind of like when you look at the legal limits and stuff like, 0.05. To get to 0.05, the average adult male needs to drink 3 standard drinks within an hour. And if you drink 1 standard drink per hour after that, you'll stay there because it takes an hour for 1 standard drink to be processed by your body. So if you think about it, 3 standard drinks in an hour is 0.05. So to get to 0.5, that's 10 times. That's someone drinking 30 drinks And you occasionally get people with these readings that are regarded as, and they don't die, and they're regarded as lethal. But that's like, drinking 30 drinks in an hour, or drinking 10 drinks an hour for 4 hours in a row, is potentially enough to kill you. So yeah, rigor mortis makes you hard, Abigail. Well, yeah, you get to do it. So it's alcohol, kids. It's dangerous. Don't be silly with it. That's why I almost never do shots, because that's dangerous. Like, because we've talked before about that 95% alcohol that I think you can't get anymore in Australia because it killed a couple of people. It was this Polish spiritus, rectified spirit. In America, they have what they call Everclear, that you can get up to. It's 93 to 95% alcohol. And I've had it in the past. But there was a case like, an 18-year-old or a 21-year-old on their birthday, someone making them do shots. And I don't know if they told them what it was or if they told them it was vodka. But when something's 95% alcohol, so that's 2.5 times more potent than vodka. So this person did a multiple shots, and I think it was like 5 or 6 shots in rapid succession. And so that's like doing 15 shots of vodka in rapid succession. And and the thing is, when it's so potent, you can consume enough of it to have a fatal dose before you lose consciousness. See, that's what usually saves heavy drinkers from dying. They drink enough alcohol that they just lose consciousness before they can drink enough to poison themselves. But this stuff, because it was so high alcohol content, she was able to drink a lot of it before losing consciousness, then lost consciousness, and then continued to get more intoxicated until there was enough alcohol in her system to kill her. I think there were 2 or 3 deaths caused by this stuff. It's caused, and it's not, okay, honestly, not caused by the alcohol. It's caused by people being fuckwits. Yes, invisible chicken, new meds, another reason not to drink. That's true. So yeah, I am very opposed to alcohol abuse. I'm opposed to people peer pressuring people into drinking alcohol. If you ever want to really piss me off, just try and coerce someone who doesn't want to drink into drinking. And for that matter, it might be me. I might go, no, I've had enough. Go, man, have some more. It's like, motherfucker, if I say I've had enough, I've had enough. So, I get very pissed off at people who try and peer pressure someone into drinking alcohol when they say they don't want to drink alcohol. Invisible chicken, yes, mixing caffeinated drinks with alcohol can be very dangerous because the caffeine can mask the effects of alcohol, and you can be fooled into thinking you're not that drunk and you'll drink more alcohol, and very bad for you. Very bad for you. Yes, Shieldsy, I'm just drinking water, buddy. Nobody, you remember drinking 13 shots in one night, but over 3 to 4 hours or longer. You stopped, the point you're unable to get next drink, couldn't speak anymore. It's like the whole thing, like, how many, in my entire life, I've only drunk enough to throw up half a dozen times. And I've only drunk enough to kind of forget shit that happened about 3 times. I used to get told people would black out drunk every week, like every Friday or Saturday night or both. They'd come and think like, oh, I remember up to this point, and then I don't remember anything after that. And I was like, that is really fucking bad. You're getting blackout drunk every week. That is fucked. Abigail, you like Jaeger bombs? Well, 1 or 2 Jaeger bombs is fine. It's just drinking, and what's the espresso martinis? One of the most popular drinks around, coffee and vodka. Too much caffeine can mask the effects of alcohol and trick you into drinking more than you otherwise should. So, It's kind of funny when me talking about moderation, but last Saturday night was the drunkest I've been in a little while, because at like the end of the stream, I was just like, fuck. Like I didn't even put my CPAP machine on that night. I was just like, I'm actually too fucked to even try and put that on. And I just stumbled into the next room and crashed on the lounge for a couple of hours. And then I got up at like 5 a.m. and went to bed. But I just thought, no, I'm fucked. I'm just falling over and stuff. Not as drunk as I got on New Year's Eve was something else. Having like Nettie and Abigail over on New Year's Eve. I got quite drunk on New Year's Eve. So that was the thing. We kept that going till 3 a.m. Nettie, you think if you don't remember a night, it's not usually drinking. It's down to how tired you got and how lazy your memory brain is. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, that's fair. But yeah, it's like, Saturday night wasn't blackout. I wasn't throwing up. I didn't have a hangover on Sunday. I actually probably had more after effects from Friday night than Saturday night, but I was definitely drunker on Saturday night. So who the fuck knows whether. And all I had on Saturday after Friday night was just, and sometimes it makes me hungry. Like I'm hungrier than usual the day after drinking. Yeah. I get this psychological thing. Oh, my tummy feels a bit hungry. My tummy feels a bit weird. Maybe I'll feel better if I ate something. But it's just. And yes, Shazzy, I'm just thinking safe and drinking water. It's at 9:30. I might have a tiny bit more water. Don't want to wet the bed. Don't want to wet the bed. Mrs. Angry's in there. I'm just saying that to upset Mrs. Angry. She's coming to the kitchen. It's what's more of an issue is having to get up in the middle of the night to pee, because I've got the CPAP machine on at the moment, and so now I've got all of this headgear on and this thing over my nose, and it's like, okay, if I have to get up to go to the toilet, I've got to switch the machine off to either take the headgear off or detach the head. It's easier to actually detach the headgear from the air hose, then go into the toilet and then get back into bed and reattach the air hose and switch it back on. And it's just a pain in the ass. So it's actually somewhat easier if I don't have to get up to go to the loo in the middle of the night. Alan, hello. Thank you for the birthday wishes. You got drunk with me on the 2019 election show. Nice. Yeah, it was worth getting drunk after that. That was a terrible, terrible night. That was a terrible. I thought it's going to be a big gloating night, and it was terrible. And I cut the stream short because it's like, no, it's just going to get depressing because I would keep this stream going. I'm just going to drink too much and be really sad. So I'm going to cut the stream short. That you get the munchies because you've been dieting. Alcohol loses your inhibitions around food. Sometimes, and I think it's a classic thing to want to have something salty with a drink. You're having a drink. That's why pubs have peanuts and chips, because you're having a drink and you're going like, I want something salty with this. But I get it the next day. And I'm sort of going like, oh, I'm fine. My tummy feels a bit funny. And my brain just starts going, yeah, tummy's a bit funny. Maybe if you ate something, it would be better. And so I kind of fight with that. But yeah, I do sometimes sit here having a drink, particularly if it's a sweeter cocktail. I sit here thinking, I could have a chip. I'll just have a chip while I have this. That type of thing. Yes, Megalich, that's the thought that crosses my head sometimes. No, fuck it, I'll just pee the bed. No, but no, again, Mrs. Angry's going, don't do that. Okay. That's now official. I'm not allowed to. And I don't have any adult diapers to wear to bed, so so yes, I'll just have to get up if I need to during the night. But I think I'll even it's 9:30. I'll stop drinking water after this little bit. But it's nice to get a bit of hydration and then go to bed. Oh yes, a bit of cheese, Annette. Yes, that thought pops into my head sometimes too. Bit of cheese, just a bit of cheese. That's an interesting concept, Shieldsy. Fresh lemon juice is a good way to suppress hunger. Because I have that, because I always have a supply of lemon juice for cocktail making. I've had it. Okay, I'll just have a bit of cheese. Just a bit more, and just a bit. Oh man, the whole wheel of bree's gone. How did that happen? I used to get these ones from Costco. Like the ones from the supermarket are like this big, and I was pretty bad. I could easily knock off half one of those without even trying. Then I'd get these ones from Costco that were like this big, like 4 times bigger. Like everything's bigger at Costco. Giant bottles of booze, giant wheels of cheese. Miserable chicken, you love the sharp parmesan, though you get the cheapest. I like the grated parmesan from Coles and stuff. And that's the cheap stuff, but it's good. So it's Alan, cutting the stream short was the second best part of the night. Best part was Aussie voters rejecting. Oh dear. You're a sad, sad, sad little boy. Why are these people obsessed by me? It's just so funny. Oh, nice. Speaking of cheese, husband just bought Kirsten a cheese plate. Nice. Okay, so you were saying earlier about the new Starwood cocktail bottles. I got the email today about the new cocktails are on sale. I'd probably want to have a taste of. Oh yeah, it's on the website now. I'd want to have a taste of their. Again, I'm sure it's someone in marketing said, no, don't call it a Boulevardier, call it a whiskey Negroni. It depends how forward the bitter part is, because as anyone who knows me knows, I fucking hate Campari. And Campari is the traditional bitter element in a Boulevardier and a Negroni. I'd probably want a taste test, because there are other bitter aperitifs that I quite like. It's just fucking Campari is too bitter. So it's quite possible that I'm going to like the Starwood Boulevardier, but I'd need to taste it. So they've now got, you can get the bottled cocktails from Starwood, the global award-winning New Old Fashioned, which I'm probably due to get, the whiskey Negroni or Boulevardier, which I'd want to taste test before buying, because there's too high a chance it's too bitter for me. And then there's a coffee old fashioned, which I'm not going to like because I fucking hate coffee. But a coffee whiskey cocktail, if you're into coffee, that would probably be quite good. But I'm not into coffee. I fucking hate coffee. Ooh, Invisible Chicken, you get a block of Parmesan from Coles, cut it into small bites, nice and salty. Yeah, I like seeing. Shieldsy, do you get booze from Aldi, or you get other stuff from Aldi? Aldi's a weird shop. I think our Aldis here in Australia are very different to the Aldis in Europe. But I find Aldi quite weird. I occasionally go into an Aldi, but it's very uncommon. Very uncommon for me to go into an Aldi. Very weird. Yes, I might have to get a new old fashioned. Maybe it's time to visit the Starwood Distillery again. Get a taste test of the whiskey Negroni. See if I like it. Oh, okay. Shields, your full shop is at Aldi. Okay, I don't shop at Aldi because there's too much stuff I want to get they don't have. Also, there isn't an Aldi particularly close to where I live either, so that's another reason I don't shop at Aldi. But they also don't have a lot of stuff I want. So I'm going to say, like, next Monday's Bourbon Day, and I'm feeling like I should get it. I should make a cocktail for that. People might be searching for it on YouTube. Difford's recommend a cocktail called a Haberdasher. which sounds, maybe I'll make it because it actually sounds fucking amazing. Doesn't say where it comes from, but what's in it. So you got to stir whiskey, dark creme de cacao, chocolate liqueur, and Fernet, which is a really fucking weird herbal liqueur. So you stir them together, and then separately you shake chartreuse, green chartreuse with cream, and make a foam. Sugar. So you put the first three that you stirred together, you put that into a chilled glass, and then you really carefully layer the chartreuse and cream foam on top of that. And I really like the sound of that. That sounds fucking amazing. So I might actually make that. And I'll make it with bourbon because I've got actual bourbons over there. Annette, Aldi doesn't make sense to you. Abigail, there's an Aldi near you, but yeah, you can't bring shopping home. You're pretty sure they don't deliver. Yeah, Aldi is very much self-serve. Like you pack your own groceries at Aldi. And she has a U-Shop $75.90 a week. Well, yeah, I got to buy for extra people in this house. So it varies a lot. It varies an enormous amount what the weekly shop is. I tend to go a couple of times a week rather than trying to get everything in one go. I'll go 2 or 3 times a week. Sometimes that's just to get out of the house even. So I sort of, keep an eye on the staples like bread and milk because, with up to 5 people in the house, that can disappear. You can think you've got it and it can disappear really quickly. I get like my urgent supplies like Pepsi Max or something and bananas for my smoothies. I tend to have at least one smoothie a day for my meal replacements. I add a banana to it. Occasionally got to buy lemons and limes. So I've got lemon and lime juice for the cocktails. I should juice this orange that I stole off a local tree. You see, it's quite yellow rather than orange. I want to see what it's like. I do actually want to juice this and try it. There must be a juicer just around here. Oh. There's a simple juicer. So I'll take this. I'll take this. And I'll need a strainer. I don't want the pulp. I don't like the pulp. And I'll cut the orange. Right. Got that nice orange zest smell when I cut the orange. So, orange on the inside. Saying Annette, Aldi does have. Oh, you think Aldi has the best low GI bread? There you go. Shieldsy, you can get your weekly buy down to 70. Oh yeah, I can imagine because going from the island, no wonder you want to do a monthly shop rather than a weekly one. It's not very convenient. So we go. Shopping can cost you a fortune because you have to get it delivered. Coles and Woolworths, yeah. Oh, so your fortnightly shop rose from about 200 to 300 over last year. Yeah. Ugh, I can imagine. Bit of a drag. Okay, so now I'm just going to have a little drink of fresh lemon juice and a bit more ice. Just get a bit more ice. Oh man, I forgot my clear ice. Oh well, it's too late now. I'll have to try and get that out tomorrow. Little bits of ice this time rather than one big bit. Strain the pulp out because I don't like orange pulp. That's interesting. There was not that much of it. Okay, not a lot of pulp from these oranges. Interesting to note. Ian's World, hello to you, sir. So we got some fortnights you have to choose to pay for groceries or the electricity bill, which is also hideously more expensive. Yeah, fucking bills. Yes, you're right, Shieldsy. Aldi is cheaper than Coles or Woolworths. But yeah, like I said, well, there's two things. There isn't one particularly close to me, and they don't have a lot of stuff I want. So no to Aldi for me. Try this fresh orange juice. Okay, I think that was not. That's really, really sour. It's mind-blowingly sour for orange juice. Oh, wow. That's almost like a lemon. That was almost like lemon juice. I think that wasn't ripe. Good to know. My God, that was sour. We could maybe make an oleo saccharum out of that. Make a little orange cordial. Jesus, that was sour. I was not expecting that. Oh my God, that's so acidic. Oh, that would be the thing, Ian. Like, it needs some sugar added to it. Jesus, that was so sour. That really caught me by surprise. Nobody. Good question. Did I mistake a grapefruit for an orange? No, it's tiny. It's tiny. Who bloody knows, though, honestly? Yes, Megaleech, it was instant karma for stealing the orange. I did actually take it off a tree on my walk where the fruit was hanging over the wall of the house. Shieldsy, the Aldi having big name brands, but packaged under the Aldi brand. That's like Costco. A lot of the stuff in Costco that's under the Kirkland brand is actually made by big name makers. It's just Costco says, yeah, look, we'll buy a fuck ton from you and sell it cheap, but we'll rebrand it so it won't undermine your expensive brand. That goes for booze as well. They have Kirkland vodka, American vodka, and French vodka. They have blended Scotch whiskey. They have Irish whiskey. I think they have a bourbon, like so an American whiskey. But they buy the spirits from big name distilleries and just rebrand it because the distilleries will sell it to them because it's like a guaranteed amount of money. Like, Costco show up and say, I'll buy 100,000 liters from you. They go, fuck yeah. But don't undermine our prestige brands. You've got to repackage it and you're never allowed to tell anyone where you got it. And Costco are like, yep, no problem. I haven't had any Costco spirits for a while, but I have had a big thing of blended Scotch whiskey and big things of vodka. Ian, a good cheap rum. Okay, that depends where in the world you are, and I also what you call cheap. It's all fucked up in Australia because of how expensive spirits are here. There's a huge variance, and it's also going to depend on your palate as well. I've got like 10 or 12 rums. I had no idea I was ever going to get so obsessive about rums, and now I've got 10. Okay, Ian, you're in Brisbane. You know who actually makes good stuff locally? The Beanley Distillery. Like, everyone knows the Bundaberg Distillery, and Bundaberg do some prestige gins. They're not particularly cheap. The cheap Bundy is a good smooth rum, depending what you want. Look, I'll show you. I've got I guess I've got both ends of the spectrum. I got this one, a white rum. This one is from the Beanley Distillery in Queensland, which I think is Australia's oldest distillery. And for a white, like it's quite neutral. A white rum, it's very neutral. It's got just the aroma is this lovely sweet smell because of it's made from sugarcane, of course. It's got this lovely, like it doesn't, you know how some spirits, when you smell them, it kind of fucking burns your sinuses out. This just has a really nice, lovely, light, sweet smell. And yep, it's pretty easy to drink. Again, there's an initial sweetness, and you've definitely got that sort of rum burn going down. But yeah, the Beanley white rum, absolutely a recommendation from me. If you want the other end of the spectrum, I think this is also made at the Beanley Distillery, Inner Circle. This is 75% alcohol, a high-proof dark rum. This one will kick you in the fucking head. This is not smooth drinking at all. So I've got both ends of the spectrum. A really nice, light, white rum, and this one, a 75% alcohol dark rum. Usually only put a bit of that in a cocktail to beef it up. But yeah, I'd say go Beanley, mate. Go Beanley. I love that user. I get the username Runt Cash. I get what you're going for there. Oh no. Put some Aldi condoms. This is up the duff. Oh, that's some quality Australian humor there. Okay, nobody, you got to go. Experiencing connection issues. Take a cue to fuck off. That's fair, man. Oh yeah, Ian, a factory tour. A factory tour of Beanley would be a great idea because they'll probably you get to do some tastings. But Beanley White is really good. Like people, I've heard this multiple times from like bartenders and cocktail makers and whatnot in Australian bars who are serious about their craft. They will single out Beanley White rum as worth noting. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh god, they're just up the road from your partner's place. Well, that sounds like a date night, Ian. Honestly, do the Beanley tour. I've with friends over the last year and with Mrs. Angry, done distillery tours and tastings. Done a couple here in like Melbourne because there are a couple of distilleries in Melbourne City. We did the Starwood Distillery, a whiskey distillery, the Patient Wolf Distillery, which is a gin distillery. Out in Geelong, I went to Anther, which is a gin distillery. I also went to the Bellarine Distillery. Yes, Kirsten was part of our tour. The Bellarine Distillery, which is currently making gin, but is supposed to release a whiskey this year. Oh, whoa, Ian, that's an interesting mix. She doesn't drink alcohol but loves it on your breath. Well, the Beanley White will only do really light alcohol on your breath. It's very light. Run Cash. I've been on the piss for ages. Well, what are the alternatives? Not being on the piss? I always found it funny. And boring people go bye-byes. So, yes, Run Cash, just so long as you know. Be a boring cunt, and we'll treat you like a rash and apply some topical ointment and fuck you right off. Well, yeah, see, Shieldsy, rum, the story of rum is the story of sugarcane. So, Runt, it was that silly phrase that morons talk about Victorian Premier Dan Andrews. Not worth paying attention to. As soon as someone is just pathetically stupid and time wasty, they are gone. Of course, because Queensland, being the centre of Australia's cane industry, was the centre of our rum industry. The Caribbean, lots of sugar cane, so lots of rum. Also, of course, the history of sugar is the history of slavery as well. The Pacific Islanders who were kidnapped and enslaved to work the Queensland cane fields in the past, the slavery in the Caribbean. That's the unfortunate part of the history of rum, is also tied up with slavery and exploitation. But yes, Queensland, I think the Beanley, Run, don't worry about the other guy because he's gone. I think the Beanley distillery is the oldest still operating distillery in Australia. I could be wrong, but I think they are the oldest operating distillery in Australia. Although Archie Rose in Sydney is about to bring out a rum. They've been aging it for 3 years. Ian, you've moved to the right state. You like your rum. Look, I mean, although people rag on your bog standard Bundy, particularly the underproof rum, which is the cheap one, but at the Bundaberg distillery, what have I got here? I have some Bundaberg. A dark one, which puts some decent body. This is Bundaberg 12-year-old black rum. It's not really black. It's very dark brown, but they call it black. 12 years aged. Ian used to live in Eltham. So now, oh my God. For instance, this compared to the Beanley White, which has an incredibly light sort of sugar smell. This is just like dark chocolate, cinnamon, and molasses. This is intense. The Beanley one, light. This, intense. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, this almost smells like a dessert. Like I said, that chocolate and molasses smell in this one. Really good for making tiki drinks, this one. Gives a lot of flavor to a cocktail. So I can't even drink this. I squeezed this orange juice, and it's so sour. I can't. And it's too late. I'm going to go to bed now. If it was earlier, I'd probably mix some soda or lemonade and mix it in, but I'm just going to leave it. It's not the end of the world. So yeah, Ian, do a tour of the Beanley distillery, and if you get the chance, do a tour of the Bundy distillery. Do some tastings. They make a lot of different things, and you do it. But did Bundaberg do a white rum? I mean, they probably do. I don't remember seeing it, but the Beanley white rum is quite well regarded. It is a really nice light white rum. So it's good for making stuff like daiquiris or mojitos. Annette, I haven't had an AIDSy update, so I probably should call him again, actually. Ian, I'd love to hear how it goes. I'd absolutely love to hear how the tour goes. Because that's I personally think it's a fun thing to do. Visit a distillery, boutique distillery. Beanley's pretty big, so I don't know that they qualify as boutique. But even Bundy, their boutique bottlings are things. So, yeah, you know. Oh, Ian, do a vid of it. Dude, share the link if you do. If you do a vid of the tour, please let me know. Yeah. Annette, feeling uneasy. He's not well. I talked to him last week, and he's not well. Things are not good. So I'll see if I can get him tomorrow. Oh, yeah, Run. A whole bunch of the distilleries made hand sanitizer during COVID. Like a lot of them did, because they had the facilities to. Oh, yeah, Ian, definitely message me if you do it. Definitely. I actually got a bottle of what's called Pacific Moonshine. Comes from a distillery in Byron Bay in New South Wales. In the middle of COVID, they were friends with the people who owned the Stone and Wood sort of craft beer brewery, and the brewery had made a whole bunch of beer that would normally go to pubs, and of course all the pubs were shut, and they were like, well, shit. And they talked to their friends at the Byron distillery and said, can we do something with this? And they were initially going, well, we could turn it into hand sanitizer. And they went, yeah, we could do that, and it wouldn't be a total waste. And then someone went, wait, what if we turned it into moonshine? So they distilled the beer. So it's like an unaged whiskey. And because the beer is quite fruity, the unaged moonshine picked up some fruity flavor. It's a really good mixer. I use it in a few different cocktails. So that was fun. They were going to make hand sanitizer, and they ended up making moonshine instead. I thought that was fun. Invisible Chicken, you got a nice bottle of sanitizer from Mountain Tambourine. Yeah, they all started doing it. So many of the distilleries put out hand sanitizer because they could, which was great. Then there was those guys who accidentally bottled some of it. That was bad. And it got sold as gin. That was bad. But anyway, that's bedtime. It's 10 o'clock, you fine people. I thank you one and all for joining on this anniversary night. But because tomorrow is a work day, I'm going to go to bed. So I spend most of the time actually just talking about the rums rather than drinking them, because I have done that on other streams, done comparative taste tests and got really smashed. So I'm not doing that tonight. So next stream will be on Thursday night. Tomorrow night, I'll be watching 6 Feet Under. We're up to season 5. Final season of 6 Feet Under with Mrs. Angry. But I'll be on stream for Thursday and Friday. Saturday's date night, so I won't be on there. But yes, later in the week, towards the end of the week, that's a bit more party time. Towards the end of the week, we party a bit more. But it's only Tuesday night, so I've got to be relatively straight today. So thank you so much for joining me, you fabulous people. I hope to see you again soon. Look after yourselves.